Blackbird Night School, Day 11. Denial versus Detachment. The double Ds. The ego's mastery is not in its loudness, but in its imitation. It is a counterfeit artist. It copies the tone of the Holy Spirit. It mimics guidance. It impersonates intuition. It steals the cadence of Jesus and then sends the mind on errands that produce more judgment, more separation, and more fear. This is why so many people swear they heard Jesus, and yet what follows is defensiveness, criticism, superiority, or emotional chaos. The ego does not mind using holy words as long as the mind never finds the holy place. This entire distinction between denial and detachment rests on one truth. The ego survives only when it is not looked at. Denial is the refusal to look. Denial is the mind saying, "This scares me, so I will pretend it is not here." Denial uses spiritual language to cover a wound instead of exposing it to the light. Denial says, "It's all an illusion anyway," not because the mind understands illusion, but because the mind is terrified of responsibility. Denial is the quick dismissal that blocks the only doorway to freedom. Detachment is the opposite movement. Detachment is the inward turn, the decision to bring the lamp, not the blindfold. Detachment says, "I will look at this with Jesus, not to judge it, not to worship it, not to run from it, but to understand why I chose it." The Course is relentless on this point. The ego is always a decision. Every ego emotion is a decision. Anger is a decision. Fear is a decision. Confusion is a decision. Sickness is a decision. Even the body's birth and death are decisions made by the mind that wants separation. And because they are decisions, they can be changed. The problem is never the feeling. The problem is forgetting the chooser. Forgetting the chooser is the birthplace of denial. Remembering the chooser is the beginning of detachment. True detachment is not emotional deadness. True detachment is not aloofness, numbness, coolness, or withdrawal. True detachment is the awareness that nothing the ego shows has power over the mind that looks with the Christ. Detachment is not stepping away from the world. It is stepping out of the world's interpretation. Detachment is not indifference. It is innocence rediscovered. Detachment does not reduce compassion. It removes the fear that blocks compassion. That is why Jesus insists that even though the ego is an illusion, it must still be looked at. Not because it is real, because the mind made it real to itself. And what has been made real must be undone through vision, not through avoidance. Avoidance strengthens the illusion. Vision dissolves it. Denial says, "This is too awful. I refuse to look." Detachment says, "This is only a choice. I'm ready to see why I chose it." Denial says, "Holy Spirit, take this away from me," as a plea to remove the symptom without touching the cause. Detachment says, "Let me hold the lamp with you so I can see the cost of choosing fear." Denial keeps the ego in business. Detachment quietly bankrupts it. Denial is the mind defending the prison. Detachment is the mind remembering the key. This is why forgiveness does nothing. Forgiveness does not attack. Forgiveness does not argue. Forgiveness does not rush. Forgiveness does not fix the world. It exposes the world's unreality. Forgiveness simply looks, waits, and judges not. That stillness is detachment. That stillness is what dissolves the ego, not because the ego is destroyed, but because the light shows it was never there. This is Blackbird Night School. This is the inside job. This is where the mind learns to stop hunting shadows and starts turning on lamps. Denial says, "There is nothing to see." Detachment says, "There is nothing to fear." Only one of those statements is true. And tonight the mind learns which one.